Hi everyone. Fantastic to see such an amazing audience. I'm David Johnson of Delivering Asia. We specialize in marketing luxury hospitality and branded residences in Asia around the world. Sherona.
Hello.
What a pleasure to see you there.
Thank you for having me. We're talking about luxury.
We're talking about luxury hospitality, past, present, and future.
I think it's a luxury to be sitting here and talking about luxury after James did all the heavy lifting.
No, he did.
Yeah,
he did a pretty good job. Luxury in the past. Let's just have a quick look at that. What's evolved? What's changed over the last, should we say, 5-10 years? How's the luxury space moved? I mean, the Langham as real sort of arbiters of luxury.
Right. I think in short, the luxury landscape has moved from scale to curation. So in the past, when travelers think about a luxury experience, they probably are thinking of, visible opulence, size, furnishings. But today's travelers, they want more than that, right? They want to have a real experience. They want a cultural-led experience. And personalization plays a big role. In the past, personalization is a premium add-on, but in today's travel, I think that's the baseline. Yeah. It's funny, we all think AI, right? The AI age is coming and what that will do to hospitality. But in the luxury segment, I think it's the opposite, that the human touch, the service is going to be even more valued and more important in today's day and age.
Yeah, goodness, you mentioned the AI part. That wasn't in our prep. No, we're not going to be touching that.
No, I had to say it.
We're not going to be touching that. No, you're quite right. What do you see as some of the, before we talk about Langham in a little bit more detail, what do you see as some of the main drivers of luxury currently?
I think being able to give our guests a more immersive experience, localization, to give them a sense of place is important for luxury travel. I think guests really want a piece of the culture of where they are going. The food and beverage offering has become increasingly important. I mean, in the past, perhaps people want to go out and dine in the city that they go to, but today, luxury hotels are using restaurants and bars in their hotel to anchor the positioning. And can I use this hotel as an example? I think this is a great example, right? We have 3-star Michelin Cantonese restaurant brought in from Hong Kong, the Tancourt. We have celebrity chefs, Morimoto, Tom Aikens. And that really has helped us in positioning ourselves in this market, attracting not only the local audience, but also attracting travelers to come and stay with us because we have these offerings.
Attracting travelers to come to stay with you. That's interesting. You can see what, in terms of focusing on F&B, has really impacted destinations.
Absolutely.
It really, Seoul, for example, Bangkok. It's really impacted city destinations. How does it when you look at the revenue piece? How does F&B assist there? I know we talked about positioning, but we talk about occupancy a lot. But how does it really help?
Good question. Again, I'm using this hotel as an example, right? Because we are in Indonesia, we're talking about Jakarta. We are expecting an occupancy growth of about 7%. Rooms revenue growth at 7%. RevPAR growth is also at about 7%. But our F&B growth, we are projecting a 10% increase this year from last year. So the F&B component, again, is really important.
No, that is massive. I think it really helps when it comes to promoting the actual destination too, in terms of the whole F&B piece. When you talk about experiences, it's about personalization, it's about experiences. Have you got any examples of that that you're doing as a brand, as a group?
Yeah, I think having the right talents in place is really important. We need to give our guests a reason to come back. So having a very stable team, recognizing our guests, giving them the warm welcome back is very critical. That's why I want to bring back to the discussion of retaining talents in the market. I think having a team that really understands what a guest is looking for, why they are here, is extremely important in the luxury environment. Yeah, because no two guests are alike. And I like to think that that is a key component.
No, sure, pretty discerning bunch. I mean, what do you see as some of the main trends in luxury? So in luxury hospitality, I mean, you talk about F&B, you talk about other aspects. What are some of the main trends that you see? You talk about personalization,
Yeah.
wellness.
Oh, wellness is a very important component as well. I mean, we have a trans spa here that offers, very unique spa offerings. Where, having a good gym and catering to the different dietary requirements of the guests. Yeah, the other important component, I think, we are seeing a holistic offering now that's linked with lifestyle in the branded residences. I think that's going to be a trend moving into the next 5 to 10 years, where I've got some data here that that the branded residences across Asia pipeline is now valued at US 40 billion. US 40 billion.
Pretty decent. Yeah,
in 2026. So that's a trend to look out for in the future.
It's great to hear. What about we hear a lot about the power of the domestic market.
Oh yes.
So how as a luxury brand, how are you enhancing that? How are you working with domestic market? Do you really believe in the domestic market? Domestic versus international. I'd be really interested to have a conversation about that.
Yes, I think Jakarta is in a really, really good place. I mean, Indonesia has very robust and strong domestic support, and we see that growth year on year. And again, I'd like to share some data. So there are, the growth in the domestic market is 15.7%. From 17.5, sorry, from 2024, 17.5%, and that's expected to grow another 10% this year. And the growth in the ultra high net worth population is supporting that growth in the domestic market, and that really helps the luxury segment. So we are seeing a 5.5% increase from 2023 in that population, the ultra high net worth population. And that growth is projected to continue into 2028, where the projected growth is 32% from 2023. So that's a huge number.
Does that mean then that as a hotel, the Langham Jakarta, does that mean that you focus pretty much exclusively on the domestic market, or what about the international market, the international business traveler? How are you approaching that? It's a much smaller market, I'm sure.
Yeah, we are no different. I mean, in Indonesia, the domestic market typically constitutes about half or even more than half of the business. It's quite the same for this hotel as well. So definitely it is a very important focus, catering to the domestic market. But we also see a growth in international arrivals coming into Jakarta, right? I have also numbers to share. The international arrivals were at 15.4 million last year. 15.4 million. And that's above the expectation of the tourism board.
15.4 last year?
Last year, and they are expecting at least a 10% growth in 2026.
Do we know where they're from? They're from regional markets mainly.
Regional
markets. They're mainly business travelers.
Yes.
Not really leisure and lifestyle travelers.
Yes. Into Jakarta, yes. But as into Indonesia, I suppose that's a good mix. Because there are many destinations within Indonesia that's catering to more relaxed travel. But I think the main point for us is how do we transit Jakarta from being a business stopover to becoming a premium urban destination by itself. Yeah, and I think the opportunity really lies in being able to offer a holistic experience. We have seen tremendous growth in the dining and entertainment scene. We are seeing the standards of luxury hospitality being improving. And the cultural aspects are also booming a lot, right? The local designers, we have to capitalize on that. Fashion, I think that's all great things being packaged together holistically will really help us position Jakarta as a destination in itself.
I think that's great, and I think that's really important. Certainly, as a marketeer, you look beyond the product of the hotel too. You look at how it can enhance your experience, how it can open doors, open avenues, open different experiences in the city. So I think that's great. I know you have you've got Jakarta 500 years Jakarta celebration next year. So hopefully, maybe Mr. Ramage will have some insight on what the government have got planned for that. In terms of big announcements, I'm not sure.
Well, the fact that Michelin Keys came to Jakarta for the first year, I mean, is a great recognition of the potential of this city. And this hotel is one of the 2 hotels in Jakarta that's being awarded 2 Michelin Keys.
I was wondering when you were going to mention that.
Did we get an applause for that?
No, but
yes, I was going to.
But I mean, really, we need the.
Thank you.
Great hotel.
Thank you.
But I mean, the key would really be to get the Michelin Guide here. We see what it's in Vietnam. It's
exactly.
So that would be good. However, I certainly applaud your pioneering spirit there.
Thank you very much.
No, fantastic. Let's have a little bit of a talk about developers. I'm sure there's many developers and many owners in the room. What sort of as you know, very senior with just a brand like Langham, what sort of advice would you give to developers?
Well, location. That's point number 1. You know, build a hotel in a great location like this one. Number 2, I think finding the right brand for yourself, a brand that has a clear voice, a clear point of view that can differentiate from the crowded market. The luxury market is getting really crowded, and we need to stick to our brand delivery. And give the customer, again, the reason to come back. Yeah. And I think the third is really invest in the property and invest in your people. The investment might be hefty, but the returns will come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sherona Cheung, Regional Vice President, Operations Asia. Thank you very much. My name is David Johnson, delivering Asia. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Sherona.